We are live. There we go.
Okay.
Bit of a
Wow.
up there.
We finally made it. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, good middle of the friggin' night, wherever the heck you happen to be. Hello and welcome to another episode of BowtieUP Live. You know what's going on. We're edutaining your face off because we say the heck with the herd. And Allie Jules, thank you. I hope you don't mind that misappropriation of the herd concept. But we say the heck with the herd because we're helping you be your impeccably awesome self. And what do we got here? I need to introduce myself, don't I? Well, I'm Lee Rowley.
Yes,
for those of you who have been here before, I'm the devil you know. And if this is your first timer, I'm obviously the devil you don't know, but you will. It's totally cool. But here to keep me on the straight and narrow is this dashing gentleman to my right.
Bloop. I don't think I keep them on the straight and narrow, but how is it going, everybody? My name is Alex McDowell. I am the founder of A3 Innovation and a partner at Real Impact Solution, all-around fan of technology, but much bigger fan of everybody out there who is watching us right now. Make sure to drop a hello in the comments, whether you're on Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, or no, not Twitch right now. But no matter where you are, drop a comment and we will say hello. More important than me, however, is my guest down here to the bottom of us, Mr. Damon Pistulka. Wow, Alex, your name pronunciation. Let's roll back through that. We'll just say, Damon, how the heck do you pronounce your last name? And then I'll reintroduce.
Pistulka.
Pistulka?
Pistulka, yeah.
Damon Pistulka.
There you go. There you go.
Right.
See, it's not that bad.
I messed everyone's name up, I'm pretty sure.
Well, obviously that's not the first time. Yes, I've definitely gotten used to hearing something like it. No, yeah, that's me. So
Close enough.
Yeah. So
awesome.
Cool.
Well, welcome to the show, Damon.
Well, thanks, guys.
Thanks, absolutely Dave. Thrilled to have you here.
Yeah, it's cool to be here. I've seen the show a few times. You guys look like you have fun, so I thought it'd be a good time.
Do we look like this is a little bit of fun? Yeah, for sure. I think our audience members might have a little bit of fun too. And speaking of that, if I could actually find the feed, Sophia,
I found the feed, so I get to stop the show and say hello to a couple of my favorite people out in the audience. We have Lee. Did you find the feed?
I did.
I gotta find it.
Do you want to say hello?
No, man.
Okay.
Sure thing.
So hello to Sophia Russo jumping in saying, hey, everyone. And also Chris Stickman jumping in saying, it's Friday. You mean Friday?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. I work all weekend, so I don't know what day it is.
I want to brag on Sophia again. I'm sorry, but I did this assignment in the Copy Brand U group. I said, guys, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go to earthroulette.com and click on select a destination. It gives you a random place on Earth, right? So I take this a step farther and do a journal entry based on from the perspective of someone living there. And most people are like, what the heck? But Sophia took it and she understood what the heck the purpose of it was. And she did. She went on Earth Roulette. She got Brussels, Belgium. And then she wrote about a day in the life of someone living in Brussels. So I just thought that was really fantastic. That's a big challenge and you nailed it.
Yeah,
Sophia, cool. You know what that deserves? You have earned a Yosemite Sam.
Ow! My biscuits are burning! Fire in the hatch!
Ready. This early in the episode, it's going to be a hot one.
That's right. And congratulations, Sophia. Now, Lee, you said you had them pick a absolutely random place and then write about what it would be like for somebody living there. Mm-hmm. Now, I may be completely off here, but my thought is that they've never lived there. So how can they possibly write about living there? What's the point of the exercise, Lee? Walk us through it.
Well, a lot of what we do in Copy Brand U is avatar immersion. So what we're really looking to do, instead of starting with, here's what I want to sell and why I want to sell it and how great I am, starting with the end user. What is their problem? What are we solving? Why do they need it? What's going on in their lives? And not just in a superficial sense, like, you know, they're married, they get 2.5 kids and a dog named Sparky, but like, what's keeping them up at night? What things are going through their head that if you could if you could reflect that back to them, would make them go, crap, they get me. And then that's the person they want to connect with and do business with. So this is really just a variation of that that's a little more fun, where we're saying, hey, jump into the life of someone who you've never even thought about before. In Sophia's case, she'd actually been to Brussels, so she had a little bit of it. But like, I got some like island and I'd never heard of it, as did most people, because it likes to give you obscure places. But anyway, so she had a little bit of an advantage, but for somebody writing who had never been someplace, it's all about the research, about the immersion. It's about like going into, groups where they hang out, or social media outlets where they hang out, and finding out what goes on in their lives rather than just assuming we know.
So, and I want to kind of touch on the fact that you're talking about not assuming you know and actually finding out what's going through their head. Think about trying to write about a place that you've never been. How in that approach, right? How do you get that approach of really finding out where they hang out and really finding out what's on their mind as a local and what they're doing, as opposed to a tourist? Because one thing that's really challenging with the internet is SEO and how tourism is the focus of it. It's not going to be how to live there, how to be a citizen. You know what I mean? So how do you immerse yourself in a place like that and find those places that they hang out?
Man, anymore, YouTube is such a great resource for anything like that. I said, Carla and I said, watched a video of it was a couple who lived in Las Vegas, and really they were just kind of going up and down the strip and showing how empty everything was. I mean, and this thing had a couple 100,000 hits.
Wow.
But this is an insider's perspective. And so that's such a huge thing, especially on YouTube. You can find that on just about anything, anywhere. If you're lucky enough, I love Airbnb experiences. Because right now they're doing online experiences where you can like connect with Buddhist monks in China and do a meditation, or you can go do this. So like you can really get these virtual experience from people all over the world. That's more of a real sense of where they live and what they do every day than, as you say, Alex, and that was a great point, the tourist sense of where they go.
Well, and we use it. My wife uses it a lot. She plans our trips when we go places, and she's on YouTube. And when we go someplace, it almost feels like we've been there, because you go through, like you said, though, Alex, it is from a tourist perspective, but man, it is nice. It is nice to be able to kind of have that before you go.
Well, really absolutely. You can visualize kind of what you're going to get.
Yeah.
Now, and I love talking. I just like being devil's advocate, because if you know Lee, that means you don't know me, which means I get to talk about the stuff that you don't know. When you do, it's great to be able to see locations, but what about the pictures not always matching up? Have you had that experience before? The YouTube videos that make everything look nice and wonderful and crisp, and then you get there and it's like, oh, that McDonald's is actually not red. It's an orange. Feeling.
We
go rats everywhere.
We go to Mexico a lot. And it's definitely either they took it when it was brand new, and it's not new anymore, or it's touched up. So it's definitely that stuff.
And that's the worst thing about the internet, right? It's so convenient and it's so wonderful, and then you just have chuckleheads put things on there for the heck of it, and it's like, oh, hey, yay! But we all love the internet, we really do, especially because it allows us to say hello to tremendous people like Nishant jumping in. So stopping the show and saying hello to Nishant out there at 2:30 a.m. or probably 2:34 a.m. right now. How's it going, brother? Hope you're having a wonderful day.
I love the beautiful drone footage of the Roman Colosseum. Just the nice, windswept, you get to see it all up and close. We've been to the daggone Colosseum. Like, it is not like, yes, we have stood at the Colosseum, and like, it is just wall to wall, just all the time is a sea of people. And if you look high enough, you can kind of see the Colosseum way back there. And there's people bumping into you and people walking in front of you, cameras, and it's just, it's chaos.
Right now, though.
Well, no, not right now.
So we could go to the Colosseum.
Right now, okay, if you could manage to get yourself to the Roman Colosseum, you could probably get a pretty good view of it. similar to what
There you
you
go.
see on YouTube. Otherwise, forget it, man. It's just wall-to-wall people.
So if you've ever wanted to travel, now is not the time. But it's great to think about it.
It's a great time, as I say, to travel virtually. That's what I dig about these experiences, really, is that you get to do it without all the, the flights and lines and backaches and, people.
Yeah.
I agree.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming we're not going to spend the entire episode talking about how I dislike people, because we have a guest here who has knowledge to share.
Well, we share something.
Yeah, you don't like people? Okay, fair enough.
Well,
Yeah.
no.
I'm fine with them, and I hope you don't get hit by a bus since. But like, just nobody comes to me for hugs.
Yeah, I don't really think that you're top on the list of like cuddly bear when I'm upset.
Yeah.
That is not like designation of Lee.
There you go.
Oh, Lord.
All right. So first of all, Nishant, he says about to complete module 4 of Copy Brand U. That's impressive. Damon, time to get you up in this conversation so I can stop. Well, I really don't want to stop talking to the audience. So I'll let you and Lee run with it for a second so I can talk to my folks. Have some fun. Tell us who you are, Damon, what you do, what trouble you're into, and guide the way for our audience to learn something today.
Okay. Well, that's a lot. That's a lot, first of all. Because, learn something today. Don't treat your body as badly as you are, because when you're old, you're going to hate it. I'll just tell you that.
We're starting there. We're falling
I already
apart.
hate it and I'm not old.
You're going to fall apart and die.
Yeah. No, not that part. Just like, somebody asked me the other day, I didn't realize it, that they were talking about broken bones. I said, well, I've broken 5 different bones, and I didn't think that was a big deal. I've broken my legs twice, and I've broken my arm and stuff like that. And they look at me like, "Whoa, God, I've never broken a bone." So
I've never broken a bone. I think you're a maniac.
No. I've got a friend of mine that was he was like a freestyle motocross jumper, and he's broken like many like that. So, but no, my name's Damon Pistulka. I founded a company a few years ago. It's got to be 5 years ago now. With a friend of mine. We've worked together before. Exit Your Way. We help people when they're getting the last part of owning their business and they really need to get things figured out, get it to the size they want so they can sell it. That's what we help them do. We do that along with some consulting with clients too, to help them grow their businesses. Everything we do focuses around growing business. And as Lee was talking about there, that messaging is, when, let's be honest, you look at guys that are gals, people my age in general, we grew up selling a way different way than we have to sell now. Sure. We're so used to, everyone is used to now having more customized message coming to them, connecting with them, as Lee said, and the writing is such a big part of it, the messaging and how you're doing it. But that's what we do. We have a lot of fun at it. It's really rewarding when we see a client, make a lot of money and right off in the sunset happy. So,
Yeah, for sure. So when you typically start interacting with a client, are they already eyeing that exit, or is that just something that like I would dream of someday, but I think it's never going to happen?
Both, actually.
Oh, really? Okay.
Because so it's really pretty simple. It's like, Lee, if I told you today that you could leave with enough money that you don't have to work anymore, would you do it? That's the question you got to ask yourself.
No, because I'd go insane.
Yeah. So then we'd say, okay, when are you want to leave, and how much money do you want to leave when you do that? And you just plan out how you're going to do it. You might as well say, hey, I think 65 is a good day, or 70 is a good day, or whatever. And you just go, okay, let's figure out what that looks like. You got to have a relevant business when you're ready to leave. It's got to give you the money you need, or it's ready for your kids, or whatever it is. And we just make sure that you're right there when you want to go. And that's what it is. And sometimes it includes a lot of growth. I mean, in the last few years, we've really done a lot of e-commerce companies. Okay. And now they're smoking now. I mean, if you're in e-commerce, and especially we've got a client that sells the dreaded essential items. It's like, man, that is an insane industry to be in now. You know.
Yeah, I had a client who didn't do any advertising for it, put a product up on their website that was PPC related, and they literally sold out of it within hours.
Yeah.
And they did it wrong. So
Yeah, oh yeah.
I'm like, what?
Yeah. I mean, you know, the PPC is crazy. I mean, just because there's no product now, it's a completely different thing. But yeah, so we have a good
There seems to
time
be a
with
lot
it.
of product though. I would love your perspective on this, Damon, because I see there's a ton of suppliers out there that have just mass quantities of this PPC gear, but there's a scarcity in the market.
Yeah. Part of it is that you know, some of it's not probably certified at the level it needs to be. Because I mean, I don't know. I get hit with this stuff all the time, and I can't tell you. There's been probably 20 people that have tried to message me on LinkedIn with different and email me with, oh, we got masks, we got gowns, we got all this stuff. And when you start to look into it, it's like, yeah, you do, but if it's not certified, I can't. You know, nobody's going to buy it in the U.S. It's got to go into a hospital or something, or a government agency. So that's the kind of thing. But my client,
so that's something, guys, for all of you listening to watch out for. Whenever you're looking at buying something that is a hot commodity, make sure you're knowing, you know, where it's coming from and if you're going to have any issues with it and actually using it for its intended usage. Because if it doesn't meet requirements or specs, you can't really use it, and you're just going to end up sinking your money into a cheap Chinese knockoff.
Yeah.
So all of these wish-like apps that are offering these things for $40 or $50 a box, they're not going to do anything for you. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
A lot of it's junk.
Okay.
You know,
people make it in their home out of a paper cutout, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not kidding.
Yeah.
It's really what's going on.
I see that. You know, and the only argument I can see for that really is that you're offering a little bit of psychological protection for the people around you. I mean, it may be false, but you know, I don't know.
You're still offering some protection with your face covered at least, more than this. It might not be enough to really protect you from anything. Yeah. And it might be mostly psychological, but it's got some help, Lee. We can't, you know.
I'm a cynic.
But it does. I think it does, Alex. It does help you somewhat, you know. I've got a friend of mine, and his wife's a researcher, and she's a doctor, and she's totally comfortable with him wearing a baklava like he wears for skiing in the wintertime, covers his face up.
Huh.
Yeah. So, you know, it's not, I mean,
you know, I actually think I have one of those. That's a really good idea.
Yeah.
I love that little hat. It's so cool because it goes all the way. You're talking about the one that kind of has like the visor.
Yeah, it comes up and just barely see his eyes like that. Yeah.
Those are really cool.
So he walks out, you know. Well, the other thing is this. Okay, you guys where you live, I don't know how it is, but where I used to live,
we're in Ohio.
Yeah, in Ohio, but I don't know specifically. I haven't been in the towns, but you know, a bad part. What the heck are people going to do now when you're in a rough neighborhood and everybody's got to wear a mask?
Right.
That's all I'm saying.
That doesn't bring a good question. It's more difficult to identify someone now that it's socially normal to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Or bandanas too.
Yeah.
Wear something to cover your face. Be protective. I can wear a mask and sunglasses and a hat, and nobody blinks an eye. Inside.
Yeah. So there's some weird things.
I should get a mask for my duck. Oh, by the way, we're doing the Duck and Bucket Challenge today. Yeah.
There we go.
We have a banner for that, or can you slap one together here?
There we go.
Real quick, before we get any further into this, the Duck and Bucket Challenge is simply this, because we say that you choose where you spend your duck. You can give a duck, or you can not give a duck. But right now, I'm going to be throwing some ducks in that bucket over there, the unspecified home improvement bucket. That's definitely not from Home Depot. And periodically, you're going to see me throw a duck. And about maybe 10 minutes before we close this up, about 5:10, I'll go count the ducks. You guys can guess at that time how many ducks I threw, and the winner gets one of our BowtieUP Live T-shirts. So they're coming out in a couple weeks? We got.
Oh yeah, definitely a couple weeks, guys. We're actually working on the quotes for a lot of our merch right now.
For sure.
So those of you who are watching are getting that sneak peek and first announcement that you're getting merch coming hot your way soon.
Yeah. So stick around to the end. Count the ducks. First one to get the correct answer wins a T-shirt when we get them.
Yes, and you'll probably most likely have to remind us that you were the one who won the T-shirt.
Oh, into
because our memory is horrible. You've seen how
Shot.
we start the show at what time? Who knows? So
Totally
sometime
forgot.
between 4:19 and 4:29.
There you go.
All right.
One of those times. So what are your t-shirts going to look like? Do you have a design that you can show us all?
We do have a design, but, and Lee, I haven't told you this, but I want to change it a little bit, make it a little
Oh, there
bit
we
better than what we've
There we
already
go.
got. So,
Yeah.
yes, we have a design. Also, I want the audience's opinion, because one of the things that we have
Yeah.
going on, and Damon, sound off on this too.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
we've got we're going to be starting to stream to our website, and we need to figure out if we want to make it BowtieUP.live or BowtieUP.tv. I think BowtieUP.tv. Lee likes BowtieUP.live. We already have both domains.
What?
And didn't you have BTU.tv? Because I like BTU. 'Cause
Ooh.
it sounds like we're setting
I
things
don't
on
know
fire.
BTU.tv. I don't know if that would be available. Let's see. I can check.
Oh, really? We're
I
gonna
don't
check.
think I've bought
Yeah,
a
we're just gonna
domain
hold up
live
the
on the
show
show
just
before.
to check right
Yeah,
now.
just
I'm
gonna
not
check
holding
it out.
up the show. I'm just casually filibustering while I look for something such as BTU.tv, and I type it into my domains console, and we're good. Now that I went to the wrong registrar. I have to go to Amazon for that. The only thing I don't like about Google domains, guys, is that you can't register some of the specialty domains, such as like .com, .au, or .tv, anything like that.
Alex,
Yes,
we're doing a show.
yes, we are. I'm checking domains. You can continue with your regularly scheduled interruption.
All right, moving right along.
There we
Where
go.
were we before that interruption anyway?
I have no idea. That's a good question.
Talking about
COVID.
t-shirt designs. COVID.
Okay. Well, so yeah, and I brought up the other day, Custom Ink. I know. Oh, I'm sorry. One of the
One of
custom printers online is offering like custom face masks. They like the little things you put over your ears,
Yeah.
but you can put your logo on them, so people
Yeah.
can walk around with the phoenix on one side of their face while they're not breathing other people's yucky particles of air.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I don't know whether that's a good marketing strategy or not, because What do you think? Would you put your logo on somebody's face mask?
Yeah,
You would?
I would. You know they're going to. Well, a friend of mine just came. He has a NFL team that's from the Northwest. He has one that's made out of that material. So I thought it was just fine. I would wear it.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. Yeah, it will.
Okay.
So
BTU.tv is not available, unfortunately, but BTULive.tv is. I don't like it because we already have BowtieUp.live and BowtieUp.tv, but
yeah.
that's what we're looking like on the domain side of the world.
All right. Well, are we putting it to a vote here? Is that what's going on?
We have been, by the way, voting amongst the audience, and we've got a little bit of a conversation going.
Oh, here we go.
So, Nishant loves the white bow tie Lee. BTW.tv sounds better. BTW.tv is not available, so we'll have to do either BowtieUp.live or .tv. Kevin likes .tv. Sophia likes .live. Nishant loves the idea of logos on face masks. Kevin says everybody uses live, and then Sophia says it sounds better to my ears. That's all. BowtieUp.live, BowtieUp.tv. I don't know. I come from the gaming world, so it's like Twitch.tv. You know, we just always think of TTVs as the guys that we're going to be doing. But
okay. I mean, can we do both and just redirect it to?
Well, I mean, we'll do both. But isn't it fun to talk about?
Sure, especially during the live show.
Yeah.
Yes. Because then our audience gets involved and they get to vote for it.
So what the hell is there? Oh, excuse me. What the heck is everyone doing? Because we have no sports. I mean, this is like the weirdest time ever. You can't even watch soccer. I hate soccer. I would watch soccer right now.
You would watch soccer.
Yeah.
I'd watch baseball at this point.
Yeah. Yeah. It's whatever.
Baseball.
I'm a baseball guy, but I totally understand why people won't sit there and watch it for 3.5 hours.
No, unless you like baseball. No.
Yeah. So it's just the way it is. It's but I mean I'm sitting here now. I'm like, I go to football games in the fall, and I hope that we got this thing figured out, because not being able to go to a football game will really stink. And Shoot.
You know, I don't think I've ever been to a football game.
Well, you guys don't have a team really in that state that's.
We have 2 teams, I think.
Oh my
but
goodness.
Neither of them are
My
that
mother-in-law's
good from what
watching
I
right now.
understand. Oh, we have 8
Wait.
comments on Facebook. I haven't even checked. Never mind.
No,
It's from
seriously,
YouTube. We're good.
Yeah, if Carlos' dad's watching this right now, he's going to be like, "What do you mean there's not a football team?"
No,
in
you guys
Ohio?"
have teams. You have teams, but you have teams like we did
We have college football.
in the pre.
we have
Oh yeah,
OSU.
you guys really have college football.
That's what I'm
better
saying.
than-
Like that's
You have
we are
college football.
rabid about college football around here.
So I'll tell you
Crazy
about that.
people.
I moved to Tennessee from the Midwest. I grew up in South Dakota on a big farm, so I'm about as green as you can get. Right. I moved into Tennessee, and I didn't know about college football, and I moved into the middle of the SEC, and holy buckets, I didn't know what that was all about. I'm
so
like,
explain it to us for those of us who might not know.
oh, it's like religion. It's like religion. If you're in Tennessee and you like Alabama, you might get thrown out of the Thanksgiving dinner, that kind of thing.
Ugh.
Oh, it's not nice even.
That's cool.
Yeah.
During football season in Columbus or anywhere in the Columbus metropolitan area, you can go to any strip mall and there'll be like one drunk guy gets out of his car and he'll go OH. And then there'll be a drunk guy at the other end who goes IO, and then they'll congratulate each other like they did a thing because they've both managed to spell the name of the state they live in.
You can actually spot
It's
the Ohioan
just-
in any location by screaming OH.
Oh,
It's like
wow.
Marco Polo for Children of the Corn.
Well, so I'm gonna make fun of where I live too, because in Washington there's 2 colleges. Well, there's more than that, but there's 2 bigger colleges: Washington State and UW, and UW here on the west side of the state, east side of the state. Now, my family, they've gone to the other side of the state, and that's the Cougars and the Huskies. And of course, I put enough money into there. I have some of the clothing, so I'll be wearing it, and they'll say "Go Cougs," just like that, and like I'm supposed to know what I was like. Who the hell are they talking to, or you'll see somebody come by, they go Dogs, because it's the Huskies, and I'm like, same thing. But it's like you said, it's like it's a big deal because of that. So I don't know.
I guess
funny.
you got to be into something.
You got to
I
be in
understand
something,
it.
exactly,
Yeah,
exactly.
absolutely.
So yeah.
If any of you
But-
guys out there are fanatics about sports, please educate me and let me know why, because I'm still very confused on the whole sports thing and then the loyalty to teams. But I guess you can't exactly go around saying Team Google, Team Tesla. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like it
You
doesn't have the same
can.
thing.
You can, but people will look at you weird.
Yeah, it would be.
I already
They
do.
look at you weird.
You know what though? There's not going to be a whole lot of reality TV. What about Survivor season 96 or whatever the heck it's going to be? I mean, obviously we can't do that. You can't do
I'm
Big
afraid it'll be
Brother.
okay.
No.
There will be no Big Brother this year. I know that all the people still watching that show will be. It's the whole gist is like you take like 12 morons and put them in a house and they vote each other out.
Well,
Isn't that all
they'll
of
test them
reality
first.
TV?
What?
Like,
They'll just test them first. They'll test them and move it.
Test
Okay,
them and throw
nobody's
them in
sick.
together.
Yeah, and then
Well-
throw them in together.
thermal cameras are actually like starting to get in discussions about being a possible way of early like detection of people who might be infected
What?
coming into
Oh,
places.
really?
Because it reads body temperature.
Yeah. What about the
Amazon is implementing it right now.
I would doubt it.
Wow.
What about the scary stuff with the cell phones? They're trying to think about, proximity, measuring the proximity on your cell phones now.
Oh, I think they should. I mean, honestly,
Yeah.
like if we really take an aggressive approach to, and not even enforcing, but really reinforcing social distancing and communication surrounding social distancing, we can leverage all of the data that we have to have a system just pretty much run turnkey, allowing
Yeah.
citizens to communicate with relative ease.
Yeah. I
Takes
just
a lot of
laugh.
setup.
I just laugh when people are freaking out about it and they don't realize that your phone's sitting there listening to you all the time. It's doing what it's doing. It knows where you're at. If the police really want to find you and you got your phone, they're going to find you. All that stuff that I don't want my privacy concerns. Well, that
I
was
love
gone.
that.
That was gone
Yeah.
years alone.
Buy a house, bro. Literally anything that ties your name to a piece of paper is gonna get scanned and OCR'd, and you're on the internet. And it's like we're at the point of the internet where there's so much data that people don't understand that like you're not just gonna randomly stumble across all of your personal data. You know,
Yeah.
it's not like I'm just gonna magically find a database. Oh, look at all of John's Instagram and Facebook
Yeah.
information. He's
Yeah.
liked all these pictures of girls.
Wow.
Yeah.
Like that's not how it
Wait.
works. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like these
Yeah,
companies
for
are
sure.
tracking. Google Maps tracks your location because it needs to be able to update the map as you drive along. And there are, of course, like some apps that have some security concerns with them if they've been used inappropriately in the past. But I think it's a responsibility of tech to manage the data appropriately and not to take advantage of their consumers, which they always would do.
Oh.
I mean, never, of course.
Mm-mm.
Yeah. Yep. That's for sure. So what's the wildest topics you guys get into on your show? I mean, what's
we talked about Fortnite yesterday. That was fun.
Fortnite, yeah.
But it was a talk about strategy, so we kind of bring everything back to business. And I mean, even really anything. Fortnite comes down to
we got to keep
strategy.
LinkedIn happy, you know.
Oh yeah.
Well,
So
no, we
let's-
don't.
Yeah, we never keep LinkedIn happy. We don't keep any of these platforms happy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But Damon, you know, you're helping a business getting ready to be sold, or you're helping them grow and scale their organization. You've worked really well with ecom. What kind of things do you do for them? Are you serving in more of like a digital marketing type capacity? Are you serving in a like operations strategy type capacity, or how do you integrate and help that business really get to where they want to go?
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good question. It really depends on the business, the size of the business, because once you understand what the buyers of a business are looking for, you have to work your way backwards from it. And realistically, as Lee said earlier, talking about writing the right messaging to somebody, your business, you have to make it attractive to the buyers. And that's what a lot of people miss when they're getting to that point. It's like, hey, I'm ready to sell my business. I'm going to do like they do in my house. I'm just going to, you know, Remax or whoever the hell it is going to come and put their sign up and I'm going to sell it. Businesses aren't like that. And especially if you get into a larger business, because a private equity group, they have very specific things that they're going to need. And that's not what you or me on this call would really need in a business, so to speak. You can run a very big business, be very successful, make tons of money, but it's not right for them. So when you go to sell, you can't sell it. So we look at that, and then we'll you know, if they need a CEO, they need a management team, if they need a better sales force, yeah, we'll bring in. I mean, we've managed $1 million in pay-per-click before in our clients. We've done
Monthly ad spend or yearly?
Yearly. So it's not huge, but it's a lot.
Right.
And you know, but that's generated $10 to $15 million in revenue if you're doing it right, and those kind of things. And you turn around and you do that. So it's really a combination of that and getting the ownership right for it, because, you know, it's your baby. Just think if you walked out of your company today, and as Lee said, what the hell am I going to do tomorrow then if I'm gone? You got to figure that out. Yeah, or whatever. And you got to figure that out and be right for it. No, it's the right thing. So there's a myriad of things we do, but my role is really finding the right people to do the right thing. You know, I don't know that stuff, but you know, if you look at me on LinkedIn, I'm really active. I have tons of calls with people just trying to find the best of the best doing what they do. Because then if I have a client that has, you know, it's a certain kind of client, and we need to have a digital marketing person that has experience in e-commerce that sells this kind of product in the outdoor home space, I want to know that person that does it. I don't want to have to find somebody that go through 10 people that are going to say, I can do it. Well,
of course, anybody can do it. It's if you know how to do it. Dipstick.
Yeah. So that kind of stuff, and you weed through that poo and get right down to it, because we have a very definite time frame and that we have to do it. We have 24 to 36 months usually to get done what we need to do.
Oh, wow.
In that time frame. So
that seems like a really long time.
It takes the last year is selling the business. So it takes a year to sell a business. So it's a horrible process. It's horribly, just go ask, don't take my word for it. Go ask somebody that sold their business how easy it was. And if what the first one says it was easy, ask a second one, because they'll tell you it sucked.
Okay. Like a couple of my clients have sold their businesses and started again, and a lot of them literally are The company walks in and they're buying the business. The client walks out and starts another one.
Yeah.
And if it's
Oh, yeah.
not, and it's not directly in that industry because of, you know, the non-competes,
Yeah.
but there's still like, you can take the entrepreneur out of the business, but you can't take the business out of the entrepreneur. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So yeah, I've always found that fascinating. Is just like most of the entrepreneurs I've encountered are all just serial.
Well, and in your industry too, it's common. It's common. You can roll a
Tech,
business and
yeah.
in tech, you can roll it and you can get it on that the growth. You can get the growth so fast on them. You know, if you can double, triple the revenue once you hit profitability and do that in the first few years, you can sell it for a lot of money. And it makes sense to get the hell out before you get obsoleted or some other thing. Let somebody else worry about that. Take the money and do what you want with it.
And because especially within tech, like all you do is you have the power to create. Like there's nothing that you can't do. There are literally no limits. There have never been a single project that I have said, oh, this just can't be done.
Yeah.
Because that doesn't exist. It's about if you're willing to push the boundaries of what's possible to solve these problems and to make it work. So when you get to experience that kind of just magic almost in the air, like it's intoxicating, really.
Oh yeah, it's cool shit. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. That's how you put it, man. Tech's cool shit. We gotta. That's all it is.
So
and also, stopping the show and saying hello to Hannah, jumping into the audience. Hannah Katsu saying, "How many ducks has Lee thrown in the bucket? Who knows? I haven't been counting, but Nishant and Sophia have.
Cheater.
So I know they gave you a little bit of, hey, there's no problem with collaboration.
Is there a problem? What
Chris
about
Power Gomez jumping in, saying probably only did it to be like Oprah. Don't we all at the end of the day? You get a duck, and you get a duck.
Okay,
and you get a duck.
Everybody gets a duck.
Everybody gets a duck.
And I missed about half of them. I don't know if we're counting the ones we. We'll figure it out.
He didn't do it.
We don't know, Nishant. And besides, at the end of the day, it's about how many ducks go into the bucket. So Lee can throw 13 ducks and have 1 duck in the bucket, no ducks in the bucket, 15 ducks because he forgot to take 2 out. I mean, you really don't know. That's the point of the ducket bucket.
The bucket could be upside down for all we know.
Yeah.
You can just bouncing off the bucket and like you get squat.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. That's the beauty of making the rules up as you go along. But what I'd like to know is, Damon, one of your favorite success stories of, you say, people riding off into the sunset. What's the most impactful thing that you've enabled somebody to do? In other words, like, just seeing them walk off, you're like, I'm really glad that I freed them to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it's funny actually. It's not that big in terms of deal size. It's not that big a deal. But I had a client a couple years ago, and and I've known this guy for like 20 years, right? So, chance happening, come back around. We come in, help him a little bit, sell his company. Super happy about it. Dude takes off with his wife. They go to Thailand and Vietnam for like 6 months, and all I get are these Facebook things of him, riding a little scooter around, staying in all these different cool places.
Oh, really cool.
He comes back into the area, stays for like a month or 2, does some other stuff. Boom. Then he's in South America for another like 4 or 5 months, So you see that stuff, and it's just super cool to see that. And that to me is way cooler. We put a lot of money in people's pockets, and that's nice and everything. But when you see somebody that really appreciated to be able to get out of their business and did something, well, I'd like to do it. It's super cool,
Yeah.
Yeah. You look at that kind of shit. It's cool. And but that's it. That's it really. It was just so cool to see him to be able to do it, because when I heard them talking about it, I knew it was like they've been together a long time, and it was a thing that they really wanted to do, and them being able to do it was so cool.
That's awesome. Yeah, that's got to be a great feeling too. It makes everything that you do and all the hard work, and never having sold a business on that level. Obviously, I have no idea, but from what you're saying, it seems to be a fairly grueling process. And I imagine there's a lot of hurry up and wait.
Oh
involved.
Yeah.
To be able to create that end result and make it worth all that hard work has got to be phenomenal, man. I dig it, and I appreciate what you're doing for people.
Yeah, it was that was a fun one, but and then you run into, like anything, you run into people that really appreciate it, and you run into people that don't. So it's like anything. But
okay,
how would somebody not appreciate you helping them sell their business?
you'd be really surprised how greedy people can get.
Well, listen, since we're on that
Unfortunately, I
topic,
would
yeah,
be.
I mean, and that happens to all of us. This happens
Yeah.
to me. I have clients that are grateful for what I've done for them, and I've got clients who could give a crap less. Alex, you probably have that in your business too. I'm sure you do. Yeah, probably. He's like, yeah, you.
Oh, yeah.
So, tell us from your perspective, because I love to get from everybody how they deal with this. The ones that don't appreciate it. I mean, how do you keep your focus on the positive ones, on the things that do go right, on the people who are praising you and sending you Facebook posts going, thank you so much for everything you're doing? Because we all know that one apple can poison the terrible metaphor.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But we have the no a-hole rule. That starts out at the beginning. And when we talk to potential clients, it's like, man, we are looking at them as hard as they look at us. And because you have to, because I don't even give a rip if they want to pay me. I don't care how many thousands of dollars, really, within reason. You want to pay me. I don't want to work for you if in 2 months you're just going to be pissed off. It's not worth it for us. Just too much on me.
The headache.
No, it's not. Yeah. So you really do that. But then it's pretty. I mean, none of our stuff really is. I don't have long-term contracts. We don't do that. We part of in the sale of a business you have to, but when we're doing our consulting work, it's like, hey, there will be initial proposal, but then it's just month to month. If you don't want us around, just tell us and pay us for where we're at, and we're good. So
so that cuts down on some of the consternation.
Oh yeah, it does. It really does. It's like, hey, we got to earn our keep, or we shouldn't be around. But there are going to be those people that always is like, man, if you don't see the value in it, fine. You just don't have us around. That's
right.
That's the easiest thing to do.
Don't waste your time. And because it's like you get to a certain point where you're really good at what you do, and you've worked a long time to be able to do what you do, and then it's like you've got something to offer them, and if they're not going to appreciate the value that you're bringing, then they can just get up and go because somebody else will.
Yeah, it's not worth it. I mean, I don't care what stage you are in your life, and the way you look at things now with the digital, as you brought up, Alex, and everything else. There are clients out there that will pay you money. I mean, I mean, hell, I could sit here, I could spam LinkedIn like these other jarheads and make more than half the people that are bragging about how much they made on LinkedIn, and that's. You just get bad clients doing that. That's all you do, and you get people that don't want it. I mean, you get the
clients that are going to end up stiffing you on a $50,000 bill.
Yep.
Yeah, have fun with that. Those guys, you can have them.
Yeah, it's for sure. So you really, it's just they got to appreciate you as much as you appreciate working them. And if you're going to put your back and your mind into it, then hey, if they're not there for you, then it's not worth it.
And that goes out to all of you creatives out there, specifically. Yes, I'm talking to you. Don't get pushed around by your clients. Don't let them be complete jackasses to you and get away with it just because you're creative. Like, just hold strong to yourself and make sure that you know that you've got value in what you do, and what you do is special. So y'all rock. Keep going.
Yeah,
that's hard.
I love that. Throw that in.
Creative stuff is hard, man. I went to school for engineering. I can't write a creative piece on my freaking. I can't touch it. And that's an art. It's an art. And it is just like painting. It's an art. It's not easy to do, so, and it's practiced like anything else. It's developed over time, and cool stuff.
And that means that you need to not devalue it. And that's something that I did for years. Creativity. I mean, I've spent 12 years as a copywriter, it's, people in creative disciplines often devalue what they do because I've said before, because it comes out of the ether. It comes out of nothing. We're creating something from nothing. And so we get this almost God complex going on of like, how dare we be able to sell this thing that we just created? It was nothing.
How can we sell our ideas?
It's not nothing. It moves the world. Creative ideas move the world. Copy moves the world. Marketing moves the world. All those things are intangible, and they don't really come from nothing. They come from your skill, your energy, your drive, your enthusiasm, your passion for what you do.
Yeah.
So engineering might make the world move, but you move the world.
There you go. But is that really just creative people, or is that people in
No,
general?
it's everybody. Yeah,
Yeah,
no, it's
people in
creative
general,
people.
for
I'm just
sure.
talking to them because I'm one of them.
Yeah, there you go.
Creatives just get, the chronically starving artists, all the depressed artists, aren't we all anymore?
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm talking about
so it's like,
I know copywriters who are like, it's been 2 years and they're still trying to work up the courage to ask their first client for to get their first
money.
client.
Yeah.
Oh,
You know, we see that in this industry just because of that fear, of not being good enough and being like, it's not gonna work that way. Yeah.
Guys,
But that's
really good question coming in from the audience, actually.
Awesome.
Hannah, and this is going to be a really, really good talk, so I'm excited for it. She said, I also have an engineering background. How can you determine your value, especially if you're new? Hannah's very interesting because we had her on the show before. She's in Belize. I can't remember what you're doing. Oh, yeah, you're a copywriter, obviously. Duh, I'm stupid. So how can you, Damon, we'll start with you and then move to Lee. How do you determine your value, especially when you're first starting out? I mean, how do you really push into the universe and figure out where you fit?
You mean a monetary, how much I should get paid for what I do, guy?
Yeah,
I think
what's my time worth?
To me, I look around at the market and then I try to figure out how I am compared to the value I'm creating. For me, it's math, so it's a lot easier for me than it is on a creative front.
I take I come from an insurance, so I do kind of a rating algorithm.
There you go.
So it's like, I feel it. Now, Lee, how do you determine your value?
For me, there's a total that I want to make so that Carla and I can have the lives that we want to have and make the impact that we want to make. So there's that, and then looking for the other side, what value I provide for the client, because what I write may only be 500 words, and that can make you millions and millions of dollars. So those 500 words are worth a heck of a lot.
And it depends on like what you're doing, right? Because you're talking about those 500 words. Well, logo, how much is that going to touch? These words, is it on a splash page that you're using for an advertisement, or is it on their website copy? Yeah,
exactly. And and who do you want to work with, and what do they perceive the value to be? Because the people who are going to be looking for a $30 logo are very, very different from the people who are going to be willing to spend a couple thousand or 10,000 or whatever to get it right.
Yeah.
Well, because the people who are spending 10,000, they're not looking for a logo. They're looking for their brand.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's the difference. The value that you provide is directly related to the depth and breadth of services that you're able to offer.
Exactly. Which is why it makes expertise and specialization so important.
And it's why niches are so recommended when you're first starting out, because you can niche up really quickly and become an almost pseudo expert in that industry with relatively little experience. But I did want to bring up, because I think one of my favorite BowtieUps was with Pia when she came up, because she gave a great formula for evaluating your time. Do you remember that, Lee, with evaluating how much you're worth, what your value is?
I remember the conversation. But
okay, so I love math too, and Damon, I think you'll love it. So she takes I want your badass brand, right? I want to work 80 hours a month, and then I want to make, say, $1 million a year. And if you know how much you want to make per year, and if you know how much you want to work per month, you can take that cost and turn it into a dollars per hour estimate.
Mm-hmm.
So in this case, if you want to work, let's say 80 hours a month and $1 million a year, you're going to take $1 million and turn it into months, which is going to be 83.33. So dollars per hour. So it's like $1,041.66 per hour would be the value. If you want to work 20 hours a week, make $1 million a year, then you better be charging $1,041.67 per hour.
Yes, no rounding errors here.
No, you'll end up with a little bit more than $1 million even, so you can thank me later.
There you go.
Okay. I guess I got to raise my rates then.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah. Give them up a little.
I was thinking I need to raise my rates too.
For me, there's a qualitative factor. I don't know. How about you, Damon? I mean, to be honest with you, there are clients I like and client projects that I'm passionate about, and there are client projects that I know going in are going to be a giant pain in the ass, but they want my help. And so sometimes those are different price points. What do you think?
Yeah, that's what I think too. Is that it's definitely there's clients that you like and things that you're going to do it just because you like the project, or it's going to give you some experiences you're going to want to do. You're going to want to be able to use down the road that's valuable. So
and real quick, just to jump in here and stop the show and say hello to one of our audience members, Mr. Charles Sterling, joining us today on LinkedIn. Thanks for jumping in there, Charles.
What's going on,
all right.
Yeah, we're fairly active.
I'm not a watch aficionado, but I do like watches. And I don't know if you're familiar with, what is it called? It's Melbourne. It's this Australian watchmaking company, but I have their, I can't remember what it's called. Portmaster. It's incredible. But yeah, timepieces, big thing. A lot of people look at watches and they just think, oh, this is a watch. This is a smart watch or whatever. But then even the watches, you've got quartz movement, you've got Swiss movement, you've got Japanese movement. And these are all, you've got automatic winding, you've got manual winding, and of course, your quartz battery. So there's a lot of different things like Swiss made parts, the whole Swiss made component of watches. I mean, there's this whole meta to watches and timepieces that you wouldn't even know it's there. So like knowing your value is about knowing what exactly is going into that. I'm Swiss made, so I'm 100 million times more valuable than these quartz guys over here. Even though they may look the same, you're not the same under the hood. I love the watch analogy because it works really well kind of with cars too. Typically easier for people to understand who don't know anything about watches, which is most. So, but yeah, great point, Charles. Love the discussion. Just wanted to jump in and say that.
Yeah. There's definitely there's differences in there for sure. There we go.
Great question. It was awesome to meet you as well, Charles. I had a meeting with him, I believe, earlier this week, I want to say.
Oh, okay.
Getting introduced to the RIS guys. He's a good fella. So connect with actually everybody really in the audience. Y'all should be connect with our guest, Damon, down here. Connect with each other. Keep it going. Bow tie up with us. We'll be back on Monday. Hopefully have more information about the merch. Remember, y'all have a chance to win a t-shirt live today. If you have been counting how many ducks Lee has been yeeting into the Ducket Bucket. And you're gonna have to figure out how many.
In fact, we're closing the Ducket Bucket.
We're closing the Ducket Bucket.
Cover for me. I'm gonna go get the Ducket Bucket, and then I'm gonna count while you're yapping. And
absolutely.
In the meantime, you can now register your guesses online in the comments. And closest answer gets a t-shirt. Yeah. All right.
As we enjoy this wonderful trip to Mongolia, please comment over to the side with your guesses for the Ducket Bucket Challenge. Remember, drop a guess on how many ducks made it in the Ducket Bucket. And if you're right, you could win a Bow Tie Up Live t-shirt. Now, for this trip through Mongolia on a train. Peaceful. Trips through Mongolia are one of my favorite. I don't know about you, Damon, but that just took me right there. I felt like the experience.
It was like a half-hour meditation.
It really. Do you meditate, by the way?
No.
No, I don't either. I can't get into the right headspace.
No.
Nishant jumping in with the first guess, and he is at 17. I'm gonna drop these all on the feed, so we've got Ducket guesses.
There we go. No, I'd be horrible at meditating. It's about 32 seconds, I think, would be my limit, and then I'd be done. Maybe 30. I don't know.
Sophia set 15.
Oh,
okay, guys. We are counting the ducks, and I am putting your name and guest in the banner. So I better see some guests over here.
Okay, well, you want to do the counting live so that nobody can accuse me of improper behavior?
We will. We've got 10 people on LinkedIn right now with us.
Okay.
We've got a couple on YouTube and Facebook. So you guys, remember, Lee is going to be counting very soon. Drop your comments over here with your guesses. Got them live on the screen.
Oh, we're still taking guesses? I thought we were done with that.
We've only got 2 guesses so far. We got to take a couple.
Two.
Yeah, we got a 35-second lag.
Guess what? You're going to guess while I'm counting. Okay, fine.
Well, you can count, and then you can PM the number in this private chat of StreamYard. So we'll keep you honest, knowing what the number is. and then we'll wait for more guesses to roll in.
There we go.
Okay, does that sound good?
All right, fine. We'll do it that
We
way.
gotta open it up to more than 2 people. You guys want a
it's
t-shirt?
like 2 is like just not enough. I mean,
not at
3 maybe. But,
well, all right, fine. We're gonna run over anyway, so let's get a couple more guesses, I guess, while I'm counting these things. Will that make you happy?
That will make me thrilled. Thank you very much, Lee. And that goes out to you guys. You saw how hard I had to fight for the extra guesses for you guys. Come on. Don't let me down. Throw it in the comments over here. Let's get some guesses up in this house. The bow tie up finishes up for the Friday. Make it Fry-yay when you win a bow tie up live
you
t-shirt.
did not just say that.
Oh, I absolutely did. I'll say it again.
it's
Fry-yay.
It's horrid.
Oh, no, you didn't.
Kind of reminds me of like Rebecca Black Friday type deal, but
that was terrible.
That was truly terrible. All right, guys. Here's what we're gonna do. So I'm still counting ducat guesses, and we'll be dropping our ducat guesses down in the comments down here. Well, actually, comments over here. Banner is down here. I'll update them as they come through. We'll roll over to final thoughts. Then we'll go over the guesses for the ducat bucket, announce the winner, and we'll be on our way. We've got 2 more guesses coming in. Thank you guys very much. Y'all rock. I'll update this here. So Charles says 21 and Hannah says 23. Okay, awesome. And that is 4 of y'all who have a chance to win a Bow Tie Up Live t-shirt, very first edition. So you do not want to miss this. Make sure to get your ducat guesses in. Now, moving on, we have one of our final things that we get to do, which is final thoughts. And Damon, I'm not sure. Well, actually, you've not been on the show before, so I'll give you a quick rundown. You have 30 seconds, a minute and a half, or however long you want, really. And we're just going to go over your final thoughts for the day. You got to be thrown up on center stage, feel wonderful, you look beautiful, and you leave our audience with a lasting impression on the Friday afternoon. Then we just go round robin do it. So without further ado, we'll throw you on center stage and you can final thoughts away, my friend.
All right. Well, first of all, you're a good liar because I don't look good any time of day. So we'll just get that out right away. But hey, Friday's always a good day. Just because, if nothing else, if you're an entrepreneur, it doesn't mean you're not going to work this weekend. It just means that you don't going to have a bunch of people calling you. I'll say that nicely. And then but this is a good time of year. I mean, I don't know how long you've been in the quarantine. If you're lucky like me in the Northwest, we've been in our house now for about 8 weeks. So don't kill any family members. That's a good thing to do. I know we're getting close to it, but please, it's not good. But but other than that, hey, I think it's just final thought of the day is this is time to be good to people, help people out, just try to be considerate. That's the thing, and it'll be okay. So, but thank you. I love to be on the show. It was lots of fun. You guys are great, and I'm out.
Thank you very much, Damon. Appreciate it, brother. And thank you so much for being on the show. It was absolutely awesome stuff. Lee, did you lead us out yesterday or did I? I can't remember. I never remember.
I think I picked up the last one, but it doesn't matter to me.
Okay, well, then you get to go first today. Whoop, whoop.
Yippee. All right. Well, we can do that. So one comment is that we need to get a little bit better at the comments because now we got stuff coming in from YouTube too. So we got people bombarding us from no, seriously. Gabriel, we're so glad you subscribed to the YouTube channel and he's got some comments over there. He wants to invest his money in pumpkins. I'm not sure what that's all about, but he agrees with me that he would rather watch paint dry than watch Big Brother. And so I have to agree with that. And, one of the most annoying things about the American version of that show, I know Nishant said there was an Indian version, and I know there's a British version too, is that every season they bring out this robot who looks like a personal massaging device, for lack of a better term. And they give him this really super annoying voice builder, and he roasts the guests. And it's just super annoying because it sounds something like this. And it's like nails on a chalkboard. Why are we doing this? It's terrible. Just stop it. We've had enough of Big Brother. I'm sorry, Carla, but we're done with that show. Just, it needs to go in the trash can. Have a good Friday, everybody. Enjoy your weekend in quarantine.
Wow. Well, that was some strong thoughts about Big Brother there, Lee. I have to say. It's all good. I don't really watch TV, so I can't relate to any of that. But I can relate to that awesome comment that Charles just left, and I'll highlight that for y'all. Charles says, kindness wins and hope is contagious. Leaders dispense hope, not fear. And that's so important to remember right now, guys. It's very easy to be afraid. It's very easy to be scared. It's very easy to be angry and upset and annoyed. Maybe you're frustrated that you're inside. Maybe you're angry that people are protesting. Maybe you're frustrated that people are still going to the grocery store and not wearing masks. Whatever it is, we're all tired. You know, we're all in this together, and we all will get through this if we stick together. It's like in Finding Nemo when they're all trapped in the net and they just have to keep swimming. It's all we got to do right now. Keep swimming. Everybody has to keep swimming. And everybody has to keep encouraging the other person to keep swimming. Otherwise, we will all not break free. It's the only way we can do it. Only if we work together. Only if we stay together, remain united, and remain strong. So remember, be a better person today than you were yesterday. Keep swimming, and life will go on. And join us on BowtieUP Monday at 4:19 and 59-ish seconds.
Yes.
And now to
awesome. Challenge.
Yes, the Ducket Challenge. Whoop whoop.
Do you want to announce the winning number, or should I?
Was that how many went in the bucket?
No.
How many went in the actual bucket?
Fuck, I don't know.
Well, how did you not count the ones that went? You just counted how many
threw?
Not
how many.
Oh my gosh! You were guessing on how many went in the bucket.
Oh really?
Yes.
You changed the rules on my game in the middle of my game.
All right, guys. Well, minor rule change.
Okay.
This will not stand.
So, all right. Well, Lee, you know, you've got the guesses there on the screen. The final answer, Mr. Rowley, I will let you take it away.
There were 30 ducks thrown at the ducket bucket.
Do you have a total of 30 ducks? Did it come in a pack of 30? Because I'll be really disappointed.
How many people actually? Okay, 1, 2, 3. We had 4 guesses.
We did.
Screw it. We can give them all shirts, can't we?
So I guess.
Blew the rules.
Sure. We screwed up the rules.
Everybody,
all of you guys get
ducks,
shirts.
Everything free for all.
Okay. If you participated in the Ducket Bucket Challenge with us live, you'll be getting a shirt. So this goes out to Nishant, Sophia, Charles, and Hannah. Thank you for participating. And please DM Lee. Actually, that's a better idea. DM Lee, and we'll get you taken care of. So jump in his inbox, tell him what shirt size you wear. We'll get you all on your way. Well, not
just don't get in a hurry.
Getting them made. Yeah, you gotta hurry up and wait. That's the important part.
We'll get it. We're getting there. All right, guys. Well, what we are going over, and this has been a fabulous episode. David, I hope that you don't regret the choice of joining us here today. If you're ever up for this kind of insanity again, maybe if you join us on a not Friday, we'll talk about some business a little bit more. But Friday we kind of wind down. Everybody's ready. Right?
Yeah.
So, but anyway, we're so glad you enjoyed us, and thank you to everyone who's been watching and commenting and playing, and the Ducket Bucket thing. We've enjoyed it as much as you have. Have a wonderful weekend. We'll see you next week on BowtieUP Live or TV.